up our next speaker. She is one of my closest friends. I knew her since middle school. She's actually my wedding planner, and she is the person who always prays over me and my family and my kids. So we always reach out to her, hey Jen, can you put a prayer on us? Personally, I've known her battles that she went through, and through all of it, she's always persevered, always took the positive, right? There was no silver lining. She just created everything gold. Everything was gold. She didn't have to look for the silver lining. And that's something that I really admire about her. And she also started her real estate investing journey kind of recently. Her husband came to one of our last meetups. And me being such a nice friend, I was like, hey, get your butt over here and start taking action. And he did. So I would like to congratulate them. They just closed on their first out-of-state rental property this October 23rd. So please give a round of applause for Jennifer Sampang.
Thank you. Hello. Okay. Hi. So gonna put it out there. I'm a little bit nervous. I will be reading from my phone. I'm not like Brooks over here, like, oh, brah, you can just memorize and talk. That's a great asset. It's a great value. But yes, hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you to Tani and the WNN Ohana for inviting me and allowing me the opportunity here today. When Tani had reached out originally and she's like, hey, would you be open to speaking at the Next For Real conference? And of course, my immediate response to her, and it was through a text message, it was, OMG, so scary. When is it? And looking back on that text now, I realized that's kind of the same response I have, not only in life, but also in real estate investing. It's like, oh my gosh, so scary reaching out to the property manager. But of course, that's just natural and that's very humanistic of me. But I am grateful to have gone through a lot of experiences that helped me to persevere and to resolve. And for all of us, I feel like there's situations where, it's really scary to restart, reset, and or refocus. So after some thought and prayer, I decided that, despite me feeling inadequate and feeling that what am I going to talk about? I knew that we all have a story to share. And so since even though we're new, we're just grateful that we're part of a community. And I'm just realizing that we all have a story to share. And so that is why I am here today. I was still doing dialysis every night. And, I had those moments where you're like, God, when will it be my turn? God, when are we going to close on this house? And he'd always respond with, even in the waiting, there's so much to learn. There's still so much to be done. And so another 2 years, found myself in ministry, working for my church in the administrative office. And that's when I learned I had administrative skills. I was waiting for my kidney transplant, but again, I was surrounded by a community of people who were praying for me and who was fighting alongside me to persevere and believe in the breakthrough. July 12, 2016, after 5 years of daily 8-hour dialysis treatments, nights of unbearable pain, shedding tears because of the fear of the unknown, God's faithfulness and promises came to pass as I received a healthy and successful kidney transplant. Thank you. So I finally felt I had a second chance at life. I was excited, I was focused, ready to start a new healthy and growing adventure. Started dating my husband, Jamil, in 2018. We got engaged in February of 2020. And then the world stopped. COVID hits. Fear of the unknown strikes so many of us all at one time. What do we do in these moments of uncertainty? What can we do when we're told to stay home? Wait, you can't do that. It's not possible. Wear a mask. Should we shy away and give up? Or rather, will you choose to embrace the refinement of the current struggle, knowing you'll come out even stronger in this dark valley? while courageously asking out loud, what is the next step? Jamil and I had a Zoom wedding on May 9, 2020. By the way, 10 out of 10 do a Zoom wedding. You know, you get only 10 people there. They still send you gifts. Then you say bye, close the computer, and then you're good. Tani actually didn't know I got married, but then she Venmoed me money. So thank you for our wedding gift. Best way. So we were renting a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in Ocean Point, and I didn't know what the term house hack was, but I realized this landlord was pretty smart because what he did was he divided the front side of their house, and I guess it used to be called like a drawing parlor. So it was like a mini living room area with a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and they had turned it into like a wet bar. So he was renting that front divided portion to us, and he had 3 other tenants living upstairs. And me and my husband were like, wow, that's pretty smart. But because 2020 became a great seller's market, 6 months into our lease, our landlord decided to put it up for sale. It was in this transitional period when I met an amazing realtor who opened my eyes to the power and potential of real estate investing. So my husband's more of the futuristic dreamer, visionary. I'm more of the, okay, what's the next step? We need to plan it all out. And he told me, it's like, maybe we can become homeowners by 2021. And I was like, with what money? We have no savings. I work for a nonprofit organization. He had just left to go to basic training in the Army. And I grew up on the mentality like, okay, work hard, save up for maybe about 5 years or so that we had enough to put down the 20%, blah, blah, blah. But then it's funny how God really places the right people to challenge your mindset, to change your perspective. And this realtor of ours actually helped push away those fear and doubts. And knowing that there is opportunity that always comes and not allowing the fear of the uncertainty and unknown to grasp you, but yet knowing that there is always another way. And this is where I learned the power of OPM, or creative financing, other people's money. And this other people's money was my parents. And because they didn't spend money on our very expensive wedding, what ended up happening was that they gave us a good lump sum of money to put down on our first home. And that ended up being a wedding gift and the best investment. And in January 2021, we officially became homeowners, and the real estate investing world became more attainable. So it's a good thing I became a registered nurse. I said I wasn't going to stay in it, but they still invested back in us. And so, of course, naturally, we started watching Ryan Pineda, Graham Stephan, listening to Bigger Pockets. But what really helped trigger our journey was seeing local friends doing it. And I saw this one crazy friend that I knew. I didn't realize it was in middle school. I guess at Kalakaua days. I'm not sure. But this crazy girl buying commercial properties in the Kansas City area. And I'm like, how are you doing this? And because I know Tani and I've known her past and I know her credibility and just she was always such an entrepreneur, we wanted to learn more about it. And even though we knew she was doing it, we tried to do it by ourselves. We kept reading the books, we kept watching videos, but we weren't taking action. And it wasn't until we were doing our New Year's resolutions, my fob is coming out, my New Year's resolutions, I think it was in 2022, my husband had turned to me and said, we need to just do something now and take the next step. Why not now? Let's go to the January for Real Estate conference. And it was in that moment when we decided to embrace the refinement process of real estate investing when doors started opening. We had a lot of OMG, so scary moment when it came to meeting people. So if this is your first time, it can be daunting, it can be intimidating. But the truth is when you can start embracing these moments, being uncomfortable, there's really a lot of power and value in community and relationships. And so I was reminded through my faith to continue to embrace and position ourselves in a network that's going to really push us and really encourage us each step of the way. We joined, when was the conference in January? It was like near the ending, and we joined the WNN Properties family in February. I began working with a rockstar team at We Buy Houses Hawaii with Daniel Kong, and which is where I am now the financial controller and lender relations manager. So if you're interested in private money lending and investing in fix and flip homes here in Hawaii, you can come and see me. He's standing by the pillar in the back if you want to get to know him as well. But yeah, I was just very blessed and grateful to have the opportunity to learn, and now given the confidence and boldness to really invest out of state. And this past October, and Tanya already shared, we went on the KCMO residential trip, and we closed on Monday, but we didn't realize we closed till this past Thursday. And now I'm proud to share and say that we are, for the first time, out of state real estate investment people. Investors. That's the word. So parting shots. I know I had 5 minutes already. Embrace the refinement process. I know it's scary. It can be very daunting, but embrace these moments and opportunities to grow and know that you don't have to do it alone. There's an amazing network. Find your people. I'm going to put it out there. WNN is pretty amazing. I mean, the fruit of it has really showed up in our lives, and we're just so grateful to be part of it. But the second thing is I really encourage that you do have and make the time to reconnect with yourselves. And for me, I shared how my faith has been foundational, how my relationship in God and Jesus has helped me to persevere through moments of uncertainty. And we're gonna find ourselves there. If not in real estate investing, then it's going to happen in life. So my encouragement is that you do find your group, find your team, find your what's going to be your foundation. And I'd love to talk with you all more later. Thank you all so much, and God bless.
All right, guys, we're going to bring up our next speaker, Hoakalei. She specializes in social media, content, strategizing. We just had a sit-down coffee. She's trying to help myself and my husband kind of be more intentional with our social media, with our posts. What the conversation went, how the conversation went was she was asking me about my story. I don't know. She's like, what do you want? I don't know. And by the end, she had a whole storyboard of her ideas of how she can incorporate my journey, my husband's journey with single family and commercial, and also incorporating our kids and telling our story and kind of what our plan of attack will be, going into the next year. So very grateful for that 1 hour coffee. It really helped put our life down on paper. Sometimes it's very hard to talk about yourself, but when someone's, kind of nudging you, she's like, I'm just here to listen. And at the end, I would say if you need social media, you're gonna fall off the stage, right? Hit up Aloha Amplified. Everyone give it up for Hoakalei.
How's it going, gang? Awesome. God is good. Oh, there you go. All the time? Oh, nice. I was praying on that, if I should say that in the beginning. So thank you for the response. Thank you guys for being here. It's amazing that you all are here. You're all action takers. And so with that being said, you should all be building a personal brand. All right? And a personal brand is not just something that's on social media. A personal brand is everything that's on and off the screen. A personal brand is you, right? How do you make people feel? What is something that's consistent about you? Do you always say, aloha e, da 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 da? Or do you say, hi, how's it going? Or do you wear a certain color, right? What is it about you that makes you you? So when it comes to social media, that's an extension of you. Everybody, we had the VIP breakfast this morning. It was wonderful. And the consistent message that kept coming up, the limiting beliefs that kept coming up around social media was fear, shame, what people think about you, right? Everybody's so concerned about what other people are doing, how you're going to be perceived, this, that, and the next. That's just noise. That's just extra. All right? When it comes to personal branding, you're given an opportunity, right? As long as there's air in our lungs, we have an opportunity every day to make an impact. Everybody's talking about value, right? What kind of value do you have? Do you even know that? Do you know who you are? Do you know how wonderful you are? Do you know how divinely made you are? All of that. So I want you guys to focus on these 3 things today, okay? Get your notepads out. We're going to go over the 3 C's, and I just whipped this up out of my butt last night as we were putting our daughter down to sleep. And I was like, what am I going to talk about? This is it. Simple. Connection, clarity, and collaboration. That's what we're going to focus on today. So the theme that you chose, Tani, was reset, restart, refocus. I have gone through that recently. A reset, restart, refocus, realign, rebrand. My company was Aloha Amplified, and that's still the essence and the core of what it is that we're doing. We're amplifying Aloha. We're all here today in the name of Aloha, right? And it's being amplified. We're all collaborating. But for me personally, I had to pivot. It's an evolution, just like our personal brands. So now my company's name is Worthy Media Co., Worthy Media Collective. And Worthy Media is standing for Kingdom Worthy. I want to help us all elevate and create kingdom-worthy content, kingdom-worthy media, getting us closer to Him. And so that's where the connection piece comes in, right? So the first C out of the 3 C's was connection. And so if everybody could close their eyes for a second, close your eyes. And I want us to all take a deep breath. Deep breath in and out. All right. Now I want you to imagine that you are a tree. God has planted a seed in you, and now you are a tree. I want you to acknowledge, what does your tree look like? What does the base of the tree look like? Do you have fruits on your tree? Is there leaves on your tree? How many branches do you have going out and around? Just take a moment. Now that you have that in your mind, I want you to imagine God is scooping up the roots of your tree. This is a part of the connection part, all right? He's scooping up the roots of your tree, and he's lifting it up. There's dirt that's falling out all around, and now we're taking a good look at those roots. What do you see? What's attached to those roots? Is there mold? Is there bugs climbing all around? Or is it clean? Is it healthy? Those bugs and that mold, that yuck that's all around, that's the fear. That's the doubt. That's the hate. That's the anger that you've been attaching to for such a long time. All right? That's not you. That's not what God is calling you to do. That's not what He's calling you to be, and that's not what He's calling you to share. He's holding you right now by the roots, and He's saying, let it go. Let it all go. Give it all to me. And as you're imagining all of the yuck coming off, I want you to imagine these roots clear, beautiful. Now they're starting to grow again. He's like, all right, gang. Let's put you back in the ground. Now you're connected to me. Now you're filled with love. Now you're filled with peace. Now you're filled with joy. Now you're filled with confidence. Now you're filled with abundance. And I want you to feel that right here, right now. Take a second. I'll take one more deep breath and open your eyes. How's everybody feeling? Good. So that is the foundation, the real foundation of social media is you. Making sure that you are aligned with Source, with God, whatever you believe in, it's all good. But making sure that you are connected with yourself and a higher being and a higher purpose. Because ultimately, when we say, I need more money, I need more this, I need more that, and you're in a panic, you're frantic, and you're frantically posting, people feel that. People are going to feel that. And that's what you're going to attract. You're going to attract people that are frantically looking for something. They're looking for a quick fix. So be very aware and very careful of how you're operating. When you feel that, do that little meditation, if whatever you want to do, pray, and get reconnected. Feel the peace, feel the joy once again. Okay, so that's the connection part. That's the C. Next is the clarity. All right. So connection is your personal branding. You know who you are. You know what value you have to bring. And honestly, social media, again, it's an extension of you. Once you have an idea of what your personal brand is, now you can go into the clarity step. All right, who is your target audience? Who are you serving? And what I like to say is, where were you 3 years ago? Where were you last year? Where were you just a few months ago? What kind of shit were you going through? Sorry if there's kids. What kind of stuff were you going through back then that you're able to move out of? You know the exact steps. You know the exact feelings. You know the exact thoughts that were going through, those intrusive thoughts. You know what was going in your head when you're sleeping in the middle of the night and you're waking up and you're like, how am I going to make this mortgage payment? Or how am I going to pay off this credit card bill? Or how am I going to pay for my child's tuition? Those types of things. And you got out of there. So those are the people, if that is your target audience, that's what I always say to start with. Where were you before? When you're just starting off your social media journey. And if you are just starting off, how many of you guys have social media? Just raise your hand. All right, fantastic. How many of you guys are on Instagram? Okay, everybody. All right, cool. How many of you guys have a public page? Oh no, how many of you guys have a private page? Okay, we got to switch you guys up. You guys all need to change that immediately after, but that's a whole nother topic. But the clarity part is that knowing who your target audience is, how to serve them. Just imagine who you were before. Where were you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? And what were you looking for? How did you get to who you are today? All you're going to do is recreate those steps, recreate that thought process of, okay, this is where I was, this is where I want to be. And you're going to create that for somebody else. That's the value, right? This is the value that we're always talking about. So if you can do that, that's a great start. Next, you want to know what exactly your content buckets are. That is 3 things, basically, that people are going to know you for. 3 things that people are going to know you for. So it could be real estate, family, if you're in the military. If you like to work out, Blaze loves to work out. Where is he? Everybody knows him for working out, right? Something of that matter. So keeping it to 3 things, max out on that. Don't go anymore. You might confuse people. And then from there, create a content strategy. Simple. Something that's sustainable for you right now. It could be 3 posts a week, and it could be 1 of each content bucket. It could be 5 posts a week, and it could be 2 in each content, or 2 and 1. Whatever it is that you're comfortable with, something that you can commit yourself to. Okay? And last is collaboration. This is the best part. Okay? This is the part where we get to do things together. We get to talk about, okay, I know that you do this and you do that. Let's do an IG Live together and pour into our target audience. Let's do a collab giveaway, and we can give all these things away to all of our friends and family. But the whole point is, guys, is Doesn't matter if you're a fix and flipper, a burr, a multifamily syndicator, a wholesaler, a lender, whatever it is, we all have value to give and share with one another. So if you're able to just sit down, have a conversation, a genuine conversation with somebody, and just say, hey, how can I bring value to you? This is what I have. Because you know the connection part with yourself, right? You are standing in confidence. You are sitting at the seat of your authority given by God, and you say, I know who I am. I know that I can give you this value, right? What can we do together? And you guys collaborate. So I'm going to challenge you guys all to get 3 people, right? 3 people's social media accounts, and I want you guys to create a collab post together. Find a way where you guys can create some sort of collaborative value to each other's target audience. I see you shaking your head. I know I'm right. You can do it, really. But the essence of all of this, guys, we're all here today. You all have a message to share, whether it's on or off the screen. Let's collab together. Let's sit in that seat of authority and actually do something amazing. Leave a freaking legacy for you and your families. Leave a legacy of aloha or whatever it is that you choose to do for this community. We all have the opportunity. We all have these bad boys at the palm of our hands. And know that it's a huge responsibility. Get out of the consumer mindset and step into the creator mindset. If you feel negative feelings and thoughts about social media, you're probably still stuck in the consumer mindset. Get into the space of, I'm a creator, I have a responsibility, I have a message from God, and He's telling me this is what I need to do. And go out and do it. Find the people that you want to work with, collaborate with, and make it happen. Okay? Awesome. If you guys want, I have a free social media checklist that I made for you guys. And you can download it. It's on the link in my bio. And yeah, thank you guys.